Story 29: The Wolf and the Crane. Once upon a time, in a dense forest, there lived a cunning and sly wolf. This wolf was infamous for his greed and cruelty. He would often catch small animals, like rabbits and birds, and devour them without any remorse. The forest animals lived in fear of the wolf, always wary of his cunning ways. One day, as the wolf was roaming through the forest in search of his next meal, he came across a crane. The crane was a gentle and kind bird, known for its long beak and slender legs. The crane greeted the wolf politely, despite knowing the wolf's reputation. The wolf, feeling hungry and mischievous, decided to test the crane's loyalty. He said to the crane, "Dear crane, I have a terrible ache in my throat. I believe there is a bone stuck in there, causing me immense pain. I've heard that you have a long beak and are skilled at removing such things. Would you be so kind as to help me?" The crane, being kind-hearted, agreed to help the wolf. "Of course, dear wolf," said the crane. "I will do my best to help relieve your pain." The wolf opened his mouth wide, revealing his sharp teeth and a throat filled with bones. The crane carefully extended her long beak into the wolf's throat and skillfully extracted the bone that was causing him discomfort. With the bone removed, the wolf felt immediate relief. But as the crane turned to leave, the wolf's greed got the better of him. He lunged at the crane, hoping to make a quick meal of her. However, the crane was swift and agile. She managed to evade the wolf's attack and fly up into the trees, safely out of reach. From her perch in the treetops, the crane scolded the wolf, saying, "You wicked creature! I came to your aid out of kindness, and you sought to harm me in return. You have learned nothing from this encounter. I will have nothing more to do with you." The wolf, now humiliated and still hungry, slunk away into the forest, chastened by the crane's words. He realized that his greed and cruelty had cost him a potential friend and ally. The forest animals, hearing of the crane's bravery and the wolf's wickedness, grew to respect the crane even more. And as for the wolf, he learned the hard way that kindness and deceit never go hand in hand and that his cunning ways would not bring him the satisfaction he sought. The end. Story 30: The Pot of the Wit. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young man named Jack. Jack was known throughout the village for his sharp wit and quick thinking. He had a knack for solving problems and riddles that stumped even the wisest of the townsfolk. One sunny morning, as Jack was strolling through the village square, he noticed a crowd gathered around a pot sitting on a wooden stand. It was no ordinary pot. It was a large, ornate, golden pot adorned with intricate engravings and sparkling gemstones. A piece of parchment was affixed to the pot, and on it was written, "This pot holds a great treasure. To claim it, you must solve the riddle inscribed below." Jack was intrigued and approached the pot to read the riddle. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" The villagers had been pondering the riddle for days, but no one could figure it out. They took turns guessing, but all their answers were met with disappointment. Jack, with a mischievous glint in his eye, stepped forward and said, "I know the answer." The villagers fell silent, their eyes fixed on Jack. "Well then, young man," the village elder said, "what is the answer to the riddle?" Jack smiled and confidently replied, "The answer is fire." The villagers gasped, and the village elder nodded in agreement. "You are correct, young Jack. The pot is now yours." Jack couldn't believe his luck. He had solved the riddle, and the magnificent golden pot was now his to keep. The villagers cheered and congratulated him on his cleverness. As Jack carried the pot home, he couldn't help but wonder what treasure lay within. When he opened it, he found it filled to the brim with gold coins, precious jewels, and rare artifacts. It was a treasure beyond his wildest dreams. Jack used the treasure wisely, helping the village prosper and ensuring that everyone had enough to eat and a comfortable home. He became a hero in the village, not just for his wit but also for his generosity. And so, the pot of wit brought not only wealth but also happiness and prosperity to Jack and his village, reminding everyone that clever thinking and kindness were treasures worth more than gold. The end. Story 31: Wealth Without a Value. In a quiet village nestled in a lush valley, there lived a man named Tom. Tom was known far and wide as one of the wealthiest individuals in the region. His grand mansion stood on a hill, overlooking the village, and his vast fields and orchards produced abundant crops year after year. Despite his wealth, Tom was not a content man. He spent his days counting his gold coins, polishing his jewels, and flaunting his opulence to anyone who would listen. He was arrogant and believed that money was the only thing that mattered in life. One day, as Tom was strolling through the village, he overheard a group of children talking excitedly about a traveling circus that was passing through town. They spoke of acrobats, jugglers, and a magician who could perform incredible tricks. Tom's curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to attend the circus that evening. He bought the most expensive ticket and took a seat in the front row, eager to be entertained. The circus was indeed a spectacle. The acrobats soared through the air, the jugglers deftly tossed flaming torches, and the magician performed illusions that left the audience in awe. But what struck Tom the most was a simple clown. This clown had a painted smile on his face and wore colorful, tattered clothes. He had no grand props or flashy tricks, but he made people laugh with his silly antics and playful humor. Tom watched as the children in the audience roared with laughter, their eyes filled with joy. After the circus, Tom couldn't get the clown out of his mind. He had everything money could buy, yet he lacked the ability to bring happiness to others as the clown did. That night, as he lay in his luxurious bed, Tom couldn't sleep. He realized that his wealth had isolated him from the simple joys of life, the laughter of children, the warmth of friendship, and the happiness of sharing moments with others. The next morning, Tom made a life-changing decision. He sold his mansion, his fields, and his jewels and distributed the money to the villagers. He moved into a modest cottage in the heart of the village and started a simple life. As time passed, Tom found true happiness in the company of his fellow villagers. He laughed with them, worked alongside them, and discovered the richness of a life filled with love and community. In the end, Tom learned that wealth, when it lacks value beyond its material possessions, can be a burden rather than a blessing. It was the simple pleasures and genuine connections with others that brought true richness to his life, and he cherished them above all else. From that day forward, he was known not as the wealthiest man in the village, but as the happiest. The end.